6 paranormal videos you won't believe are real. 6.
Kay is a TikTok user who doesn't usually share anything out of the ordinary, sticking mostly to everyday photos and updates. In her real job, though, she works as a nurse in the high-security lockdown ward of a hospital, a place that feels even more eerie once the lights go out. One evening, she uploaded some CCTV footage that left her deeply shaken. The camera was focused on a dark and used lockdown room that had been closed off and left empty for the day. There were no patients or staff inside and no reason for anyone to be there. Yet as the surveillance footage kept rolling, something began to emerge from the darkness. Keep your eyes on the shadows for this one. In the security camera footage, the figure inside the room immediately stands out as wrong from the very first moment. A pale, human-like form lurks behind one of the structural columns, almost blending into the darkness. The longer you watch, the more disturbing it gets. Its body looks unnaturally tall, with long stretched-out limbs that move in a stiff, jerky manner, nothing like a normal person walking through a hospital room. At one point, a sudden flash of light bursts from the figure itself, making the whole scene even harder to explain. No one has been able to figure out where that light came from or how something with those bizarre proportions could have gotten inside a secured medical facility in the first place. This leaves a big question. Did Kay capture an unauthorized person in a restricted area, or something far more paranormal inside that locked hospital ward? This description of a tall figure with elongated limbs and stiff, jerky movement brings to mind depictions of the Wendigo, a malevolent cannibal spirit from Algonquian folklore, often shown in traditional stories and illustrations as a freakishly tall, emaciated being with long limbs and an insatiable hunger. In the lore, it possesses humans who resort to cannibalism during times of famine, transforming them into monstrous entities that grow larger and more powerful with each victim. It fits the unnatural height, proportions, and eerie presence here. But what do you believe this figure truly was? A spirit? A demon? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
Number 5.
A construction worker on the night shift captures something unusual on camera. The footage was shared by a man who worked security at the site. After the incident, employees reportedly became uneasy, worried they might experience the same thing.
So I work security at this construction site, right? We got all the trucks. We got these real things right here. There you go. One of these. These things are heavy. Just a little backstory. It was a construction worker that he needed help pushing one of these. He says a guy came up to him, another worker, and he says, "I got you. Just guide me and I'll push it for you." So I said, "Okay, cool." So he was guiding him. He kept telling him, "Back it up, back it up, back it up." And he was pushing it. When they were done, he went around the reel to tell him thank you. And he says that he was gone.
While working in the main office, the worker spots a memorial photo honoring former employees. He immediately recognizes one of the faces as the very same man who had helped him just moments earlier. According to the photo, however, that man had already passed away back in 2015. If that's true, then who exactly was the person helping him in the video? In the security footage, the man helping him suddenly vanishes without a trace. When the worker turns around to thank him, the man is nowhere to be seen. It's as if he disappeared into thin air right then and there. So what really happened in that moment? Did the worker come face to face with the spirit of a former employee? Or is there some other explanation behind this bizarre event? What do you believe this encounter truly was? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe to Big Smokeweiler, hit like, and ring the bell.
Number 4.
A hospital worker was reviewing the CCTV footage one day when something odd caught his eye on one of the cameras. 4 weeks straight, he kept noticing the same strange phenomenon unfolding right in front of him.
Hey, yeah, dude, I also ended up limping, dude. There to Dr. Anthony Choi we are going to take. Hey, what look? You know where it comes out. There it comes right now. There it comes. There
If
it
it
comes.
is a ghost, it is not going to capture it. Look, look. Have you seen? Look how it comes out.
Have you seen where it came from?
Walking calmly with arms and legs. There is Felix.
Felix has to clear up his doubts.
You passed by. A ghost. Look.
The staff member initially figured it might have been a coworker or maybe a stray patient who had wandered in. But that idea quickly falls apart when you consider how the figure just vanished into thin air while walking. It could be chalked up to camera quality or compression issues. Yet the figure seems to come from a GP office that's locked tight every single night and checked regularly. There's simply no way anyone could be hiding in there. Even though the staff member sounds pretty calm about everything unfolding, it's probably because he's grown used to sensing all kinds of weird things during his shifts. We can only hope that shadowy figure doesn't start gradually inching closer and closer toward his office.
Number 3.
This next clip shows a family of 3 who are convinced their home is haunted after several odd events. One incident in particular really stands out from the rest. The dad begins filming as his son Rowan is playing in a small pool with his mom. Suddenly, Rowan glances at the house and claims to see a man in the window. Take a look.
And right there in that room, that's where Rowan said that he saw a man inside there. And he sat in the pool right here, and he sat there staring up. And he said, "That's a man." And he kept looking in there and said, "There's a man in there." So
no one else was in the house at the time, which left Rowan's parents feeling confused. Later that same day, once they were back inside, Rowan went into the dining room. He stood there staring at something for quite a while. When his parents asked what he was looking at, he told them he could still see the man. He described the man as having big black hair, though some of the other details didn't quite add up for his parents.
Hurt his brain.
He hurt his brain? And then what happened? Did he say anything?
He hurt his butt.
At first, it could be dismissed as imagination, but the father continues recording and asks Rowan more questions.
Well, do you have anything else to add? He apparently sees the man in there.
That's a big man.
That's a big man?
Rowan appears focused on something the adults can't see.
is he there? What's he look like?
He's an airplane.
He always says that. He looks
like an airplane.
There's another man.
He's a black man.
He's a black man? Okay, he's a black man, right?
He walks to the dining room entrance, points to a corner and says the man is standing right there. Naturally, this unsettles his parents. The next day, the father discovers something that makes them question whether it's just imagination.
Hi. I just wanted to say that this is the next day after Rowan's been telling us about that ghost that he saw, and we just realized he's been telling us a black man was in here with big hair, with big black hair, and he was in this room. And we didn't know, but we were looking around and we found out that this piece of little furniture, this thing my mom gave us, and we found it in the corner. It's called a unity carving. See? And it's carved from one piece of wood. And look at this that we found on it, and we didn't even know. But speaking of a black, Ghana is in Africa. So this is, and we looked up, it's made from all one piece of wood. It's like this artistic thing that, it's like hard to make or whatever, and they probably get paid very little, which is why they're able to resell these for fairly cheap in the United States. But we think maybe the person who crafted it was the ghost or something, or connected to this, the person connected to this thing was the ghost. Okay, so we just thought I'd add that tidbit in. Okay.
So what do you think? Is Rowan seeing something real? Or is it simply a child's imagination? But only you at home can decide the final verdict.
Number 2.
Terrifying moments caught on camera don't always come from intense ghost hunts or creepy abandoned buildings. Sometimes they happen during the most ordinary evenings at home. That's exactly what happened one night to Val St. Louis in Ontario. She was relaxing on her sofa when something completely unexpected took place. There was no warning or gradual buildup. Just a sudden, bizarre event that her camera managed to capture. Let's take a look.
Subscribe to Big Smokeweiler for more paranormal content.
Out of nowhere, an object suddenly flies off the table with real force. Moments later, a cupboard door swings open and slams shut all by itself. We've seen poltergeist-style activity before, but this one feels different. The way that object gets yanked looks violent, not like some cheap trick with string, and there's clearly no one around to make it happen. In the caption, she explains that this kind of thing has been going on for years, and this particular moment was worse than usual. She even asks if anyone knows how to clear negative energy, because she's seriously thinking about moving out. Her profile shows no ghost hunting content or spooky series, just a regular person sharing normal everyday stuff. The comments flooded in with advice on smudging, energy cleansing, calling priests, and using holy water. One of her Facebook friends even mentioned always feeling something off whenever they visited. What really stands out is how she instinctively backs away on camera. No over-the-top acting or ghost hunter theatrics, just that raw, instinctive fear you get when you sense something's wrong and it's right behind you. Whatever's in that house isn't there for attention or fame, it's just there. What is your take on this? Drop your ideas in the comments.
Number 1.
A woman in Alberta, Canada, known online as Ranana0007, typically shares everyday content like travel clips and casual vlogs. Nothing in her posts hints at any interest in ghosts or the paranormal. But during one night shift as a security guard in Alberta, a routine patrol took a disturbing turn. Out in the distance, she spotted a strange figure moving through the darkness. It looked so off that she immediately grabbed her phone and started filming.
When we work night security 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. and we see something coming at us at midnight.
How is it?
Raylan!
At first, it looks like an ordinary trespasser walking through the grass. But the longer you watch, the less that explanation holds up. The figure doesn't move like a normal person at all. It glides smoothly, almost as if its feet aren't even touching the ground properly. When the footage is brightened, it gets even more disturbing. The humanoid shape has no visible face or exposed skin. Its whole body is covered in thick, dark fur. Shaken by what she saw, she went back to the same spot on another night to investigate. From inside her car, she managed to capture the creature again. This time, it seemed to notice her watching.
We went to a back road by the same gate, seen something, and tried to back into a field we seen behind us. And yes, we are chicken shits.
In the second clip, the figure is no longer just drifting along the edge of the property. Its attention now seems locked straight onto the vehicle. From inside the dark car, they watch as this faceless creature starts closing the distance step by step, moving with a terrifying sense of purpose. Panic sets in fast and they throw the car into reverse. But the entity keeps coming, pushing forward through the headlights like it has no fear at all. Eventually, they give up trying to figure out what they're seeing and just get out of there. So, what do you think this Alberta security guard actually captured? Was it just a strange person in the wrong place at the wrong time, or did she accidentally drive straight into the territory of something far more disturbing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Bonus clip.
A man working in a cramped maintenance garage right beside a cemetery has been recording some seriously escalating activity every time he returns. The space is cluttered with tools, old equipment, and a bright orange mower parked near the back. Lately, though, it feels like he's not alone in there anymore. He's captured strange noises, foul smells, objects moving or falling for no reason, and an oppressive atmosphere that makes the whole place feel like it's trying to keep him trapped inside. It all started one evening after he locked up, killed the lights, and began walking out. But that's when he heard it, a laugh coming from somewhere near the old mower. Not a normal laugh, but something disembodied, unnatural, and close enough to stop him in his tracks. Shaken, he pulled out his phone and stepped back inside to start recording.
Alright, so I was just closing this up. Like just locking it up to head out. And I closed the bay, and I was closing this door. I shut the lights off, getting ready to close this door, and heard, I swear, I heard a laugh. And it was the most unnerving, and it was such a weird laugh. It sounded like it was coming from that back mower, like something was sitting on that back mower. I should have just left. I should have left it alone. I don't even know what that was, where it came from, where it went. But I'm not sticking around to find out, so I'm out of here. Screw this. I'm out of here. I am not sticking around.
As he starts explaining the laugh he just heard, a violent metallic crash suddenly erupts from somewhere off camera. The sound is sharp and heavy, echoing across the concrete floor. But when he looks around, nothing seems out of place. No fallen object, no obvious source, nothing to explain the noise. His breathing shifts almost immediately, and you can hear the fear creeping into his voice as he backs toward the door and hurries out. For some viewers, that crash alone would have been enough to call it a night. But this was only the beginning. He later came back for a live stream inside the same garage. Right away, he started talking about a disgusting smell he couldn't identify, something like sulfur mixed with decay. That detail feels even creepier when you remember the garage sits right beside a cemetery, with a church steeple visible through the back window beyond the headstones. Then, while he was chatting with his viewers, something happened that completely shifted the mood.
I really do. Good evening from Australia. Hey Rachel, good evening. I appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, maybe put phone away from wrench. Yeah, I don't want to come back to a broken phone. Please don't get surprised. Yeah, I'm gonna go out. Oh god, it smells almost like a skunk mixed with decay and eggs or something. Ask a priest to bless this place. Yeah, actually, I'll show you guys quick. If you could see, there's actually a church right over there on the other side of the fence. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's not affiliated with the cemetery, but are you working alone? Yes. I run this place alone. Hello, Caroline. Thank you, I appreciate it. Oh God, that smell. It's like right in front. Oh my God. All right, guys. All right, I don't want to get into that. All right, guys, I gotta go. Oh, shit.
His phone was suddenly knocked straight out of his hand by something he couldn't see. The camera spins and slams onto the concrete. The screen goes dark. When he grabs it again, his voice is no longer calm, and within seconds he ends the stream. That sulfur-like smell is also worth noticing, because in many paranormal stories and supernatural traditions, the smell of rotten eggs or sulfur is often linked to something dark, aggressive, or possibly malevolent. Of course, a smell can't be proven on camera, but it's the kind of detail that keeps repeating in this same haunted garage. Then he came back again. This time it was around dusk, after he claimed to see a ball of light moving outside the garage window. He unlocked the door, stepped inside with his phone recording, and almost immediately the activity started again.
All right, so I just pulled in. As I was just backing in, I saw either I don't know, some kind of light was in front of this window, and it wasn't like the lights were on in there. It was like a flashlight or I don't know what it was, but I want to start recording as soon as I get it. It was definitely that window. And it wasn't all the light. It wasn't all the lights. All the lights weren't on. It was like I don't know if it was a flashlight or it was like, I don't know. It was like a little ball of light, but it was also had like rays or beams coming from like, I don't know how to describe it, but it was like a flashlight shine or flashlight shine or something. Good morning. Here, I see this is on the ground here too. So that somehow fell from there to there by itself overnight. I don't know why it's always this window. I don't know what is the significance with that window. Good morning. No, I had somebody in one of the lives who said he was a medium, and swore he was watching a older man in overalls, working at this bench during my live. But that's where that rotten egg smell was emanating from, was that spot over there. So I have no idea if it's related or not, but I had no idea what that ball of light or whatever that light source was. That's why I want to get a camera in here. Keep it recording 24/7.
2 separate crashes happen while he is inside the garage. After the first one, he finds a sledgehammer lying on the concrete floor, insisting it had been resting on a wooden table moments before. Then, from another part of the garage, a second hard clatter rings out. Each time, he talks directly to the empty room, calm but clearly tense, as if he already believes something in there is listening. He also mentions that during an earlier live stream, a viewer claiming to be a medium said they saw a man in overalls working at the garage workbench, the same area where the rotten egg smell was supposedly strongest. He admits he can't prove that, but after everything he's captured, he can't fully dismiss it either. And then the most disturbing part happens, because the activity doesn't stay inside the garage. Back at his house, while walking through the living room with his phone out, he tries to record what sounds like footsteps coming from the basement stairs. But instead of footsteps, he captures something far more alarming.
Alright guys, so I just was hearing the walking on the basement steps again. I want to see if I catch it. See if it does it again. It was 4 times. I don't know if it was up, down. It sounded like up, down, up, down. It was literally right as I was making coffee. I started hearing it, and it was just, like I said, I heard it 4 times. No, it's not gonna do it. I was making the coffee, I swore I heard knocking on this door.
A black slotted spoon is suddenly thrown from somewhere off camera and skids loudly across the kitchen floor. He freezes. Before that moment, strange animal-like grunts and wet, low snorting sounds can be heard in the room. Sounds that don't seem to match anything around him. This is where the haunting starts to feel less like random noises and more like possible poltergeist activity. Doors creaking, walls settling, or pipes knocking can sometimes be explained away. But an object being thrown across a kitchen with force and direction is much harder to ignore. Then came the sighting that seemed to shake him more than anything else. He returned to the garage at dusk and claims he saw a misty gray figure shaped like a man standing inside with its back turned. When he yelled out, the figure collapsed inward and vanished, almost like it was being pulled into a single point in the air. He described it as being sucked into a pinhole. Still terrified, he started recording moments later and tried to explain what he had just seen. Listen closely.
Alright guys, so I just had something that I cannot explain. I just saw somebody. I literally just saw somebody. I came in, did my normal, Jesus Christ. I came in, did my normal stuff, opened the doors, turned the lights on, set my bag, oh Jesus. Set my bag and coffee over there, came and opened this bay door, turned around, and there was somebody standing there with their back to me. And my reaction, like at first I was like, hey, like greeting somebody, but then like instantly I realized there's not supposed to be anybody else here. So it turned to like a hey, and then like a scream. I had not yelled like that, and I can't remember the last time I yelled like that. And when I yelled, this thing just like vanished into itself, like it was sucked into a little pinhole, like it just shoo, and it had its back to me, but it looked like it was slightly starting to turn its head when I yelled. And it was a man, but it was not like dark or like a black shadow. It was like grayish. It was like a misty gray, but I could make out that it was a male. And it, holy, I was literally right in front of this mower. Because like I said, I opened that bay and looked, and it just, oh my God. I need cameras in here. I swear, I was not further than this, not further than this mower here. You're not welcome here. Any negative or evil spirits, you're not welcome. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. He protects me. His light shines around me and my property and my space. You're not allowed here. You're not allowed to follow me home. You're not allowed to attach to me. You're not welcome. Please find your peace. The Lord's light surrounds me and everywhere I go. Holy shit.
While he is still describing the figure disappearing, a hacksaw suddenly crashes to the ground somewhere off to his right. The loud clang stops him mid-sentence for a moment, and he stands completely still. Then he begins speaking directly to whatever is inside that garage, warning it that it is not welcome and that it is not allowed to follow him home. His voice trembles as he says it. The figure he described is strange because it doesn't quite match a typical shadow figure because it wasn't completely black. It was gray, misty and human-shaped. Solid enough that at first glance he thought it was a real person. Some viewers believe it could be an apparition connected to the cemetery nearby. Others think the garage itself may be holding on to something from the past. But whatever is happening in that building, the scariest part is that he keeps going back. Even after the crashes, the thrown objects, the sulfur smell, the disembodied sounds, and that vanishing gray figure, he keeps returning. But whatever it was he captured on camera, only you sitting at home can make the final judgment.
Excuse me. Who are you?
My name is Jeff.